When you walk into a room, do you quickly have a good read for the dynamics, the relationships, and values of the environment? Are you able to naturally decipher what success looks like in this space? Can you effortlessly and instinctively adjust how you present yourself to suit the environment? I mean, maybe you can't help but notice what will make the best impression or will move things forward the fastest. Your mind takes it all in and notes like how to be efficient, productive, or stand out and make sure that you're successful in that environment. You may also notice the pressure to perform well, even when no one is asking you to. Much of this goes on in your subconscious. You may only be aware of it if you stop and think about how often you have an internal drive to show up in a way that others will see as success in whatever form that takes. So let me ask you this. Are you known as someone who gets things done? Driven? Capable? Do people rely on you to deliver results and make things happen? If any of this sounds familiar, stay tuned and say hello to Enneagram 3. Welcome to Hello Enneagram, a summer series designed to help you know your number. If you've been confused about your type, if your Enneagram enthusiast second cousin has tried to tell you what you are, or if you've taken online tests but they don't seem to fit quite right, well, this series is designed to give you a simple and honest look at each Enneagram number and the core tenets that go beyond behavior-based typing to the heart of the motivation. So my goal here is to help give you the basics without overwhelming you. The Enneagram is meant to be taught and processed in community so that you can self-identify your number. So listen in, then jump to the comments and share what you're noticing in yourself or ask questions. My hope is that this helps you find your number. No test required and no Enneagram enthusiast BFF trying to assign one to you. All right, let's get going and I'll chat with you in the comment section. If you're watching this video on YouTube or listening to this podcast, you are trying to learn more about the Enneagram 3, often called the achiever. And you may wonder if you are an Enneagram Type 3, or you may simply want to learn more about threes. Either way, I'm glad you're here, and I know you'll find this episode extremely helpful. As you listen, be sure you share this episode with somebody else who needs to learn more about the driven, capable, results oriented Enneagram threes. So, you might be a three if you are highly motivated to succeed and accomplish your goals. I mean, if goals mean a lot to you, you might be a three. If you naturally adapt to different environments so that you can perform well, if you are efficient, productive, and focused on getting results, you might be a three. If you feel a strong desire to be recognized or valued for what you do, if you struggle to slow down or rest without feeling unproductive, if you sometimes lose touch with what you truly feel underneath all the striving, you just might be an Enneagram 3. And here's what people don't always see. You're not trying to be image focused or overly driven. At your core, you're trying to be worthy. So let's talk about what's going on underneath all of this. There are three centers of intelligence within every human being. We perceive, process, and respond to the world through thinking, feeling, and doing, also known as the head, the heart, and the gut. So, for an Enneagram 3, the strongest center of intelligence is the feeling center or the heart center, which means you possess a strong ability to read people. You can be highly attuned to what other people view as success or achievement, and you absolutely know how to adapt yourself in order to succeed. But here's the twist. So, the weakest center of intelligence for an Enneagram 3 is also the feeling center. And I know that's confusing. How can it be strongest and weakest at the same time? It does not mean that you don't have deep emotions. It simply means that your feelings are often set aside in order to stay focused on goals and productivity and efficiency and achievement. And so it can sound like, well, I'll just get back to that feeling later. For now, let's work on a solution. Over time, this can create a disconnect from your deeper self. And again, not because you don't feel, but because you're focused on figuring things out and doing what needs to be done. At your core, what really drives you is this: you want to feel valuable and worthwhile, you want to succeed and be seen, you desire to achieve meaningful goals, and you try to avoid failure or feeling insignificant. So, what this might look like in real life is taking on more responsibility because you know you can handle it, or adjusting how you present yourself depending on the situation. Or you may have feelings of restlessness when you're not being productive, wondering what you should be doing right now, and what if you're not doing enough? Because you're never truly ever able to be satisfied, because deep down you feel that you have to prove your worth all the time. So, at their best, threes are confident, capable, and incredibly driven. Threes are efficient, adaptable, successful, great leaders, and goal oriented. I mean, threes are amazing at getting things done and inspiring others to do the same. People will admire a three and easily follow in their leadership. Now, these are the above the line qualities of an Enneagram 3, but under pressure, it is easy to fall below the line. So the pressure to perform gets stronger. You notice the fear of failure, like always chasing you, maybe even keeping you up at night. You may become more work focused, overly driven, more image conscious, or concerned with how you're perceived. You might even become more disconnected from your true feelings. Now, people may say that you're being competitive or inauthentic, but internally, it might just feel like, if I'm not succeeding, what am I worth? If you look at the Enneagram drawing, you'll notice that there are two lines connected to your number. One line shows you where the number moves in times of stress. The other line shows you where the number moves when that person is feeling very secure in themselves and their environment. So, for an Enneagram 3, when life gets very stressful, threes will find themselves moving towards the energy and the behavior of a type 9. It's important to note that one does not become their stress number or their secure number, but their energy and the behavior will look and feel like that number. So, a three under stress might lose motivation. They might disengage and begin to procrastinate. The drive to achieve can start to shut down, and they may start feeling stuck or numb. A three under stress also wants to be on the lookout for feelings of, what's the point? I just don't care anymore. But now let's talk about the other line. When threes are feeling grounded and secure, they move to the energy of type 6, which means they become more loyal, committed, team oriented. A three can slow down and think things through instead of just pushing forward. They value connection and collaboration and trust over just goals or achievements. So threes will often tell me that they feel more successful when they have a collaborative approach. They're actually often surprised by the irony of accomplishing more when they don't try to carry everything on their own. So, if you're wondering if you might be an Enneagram 3, ask yourself, do I have a strong internal drive to achieve, succeed, and be seen as capable? Do I naturally adjust how I show up depending on what will be most effective or valued? Do I struggle to slow down or rest without feeling unproductive? Do I sometimes lose touch with what I truly feel underneath all of the driving to get things done? If what we've talked about today resonates with you and you're thinking, I just might be an Enneagram 3, well, don't rush to label yourself just yet. Listen to a few more types, pay attention to what motivates you, what's underneath the surface of your behavior, And then for more help knowing your number, I just want to invite you to grab my free mini course. It's called Hello Enneagram, and it's in the show notes. Now, it's going to include a detailed overview about each type, worksheets, and interviews with people of each type. So I hear all the time that when people can hear others talk about what it feels like to be within their number, that it's tremendously helpful. So that's a wrap for Enneagram 3. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you, what questions you have. I would love to connect with you there. Before we go, I just want to say thank you for being here. I know how valuable your time is, and I don't take lightly when you choose to spend it with me. So I hope you'll like, subscribe, follow so that you don't miss any of our episodes in this series or the ones to come.